Hi, my name is Gabriella and I'm working on the environment for the escape room. This is the new layout that I created that incorporates everyone's puzzles. The player spawns in the locked basement with these skull and shadow puzzles. Going up the stairs connects to the living room, which contains the clue map and the exit door. Through the open doorway is the library where the cipher and riddle puzzles are. We decided on a low poly witch hut theme, so I tried to make the rooms look darker and a bit run down.
Hi everyone, this is my submission for the root prototype. To keep all of our assets and visuals in line, we've all decided to go with a low poly fantasy type vibe for the project. So you can look around. We have brick walls, dungeon flooring, and I've also added a particle effect system to the floating text to give it more of a fantasy Halloweeny vibe. If you can't walk around to the back of the text to read it, I've also added a mirror here which reflects back the correct image. The riddle reads the same as before. Okay, so remember from last time, it says the right and left, like certain candies, we have to flip them because you're reading it through a mirror. So then I've also added more candies to the scene, which in later editions will be scattered more around the room in a more random, sporadic way. I just have a small room, so I can't do that and still test it. So you could take the correct candies, and also now that they're free floating, you can push other candies out of the way and have them all spin in the air. Now there are more candies, but the solution is still the same. So you can see I wiggle a new candy in front of all the skulls, and they don't react, meaning that those are not the correct candies. So then taking the correct candy for the leftmost skull and then bringing it over to it. We can now see that the candles on the skulls light up now rather than before where candles just spawned and floated in the air. Now going for the orange candy, we can go ahead, bring it over to the rightmost skull, place it into the mouth, same thing as the other one. And now going over to the worst candy, picking up the candy corn, bringing it over to the middle, and just like the other two, we have more illumination and more particle effects coming from each candle. And on top of that, this room is going to be the same as the flashlight puzzle. So a flashlight spawns floating in the air, and then you can actually pick it up.
Hello, my name is Anthony Moore, and this is my cipher puzzle for the escape room. So when you first go into the room, you're presented with this text on the wall, and you're presented with this sort of piece of paper right here, and there's an extra row at the bottom with question marks. And so the question marks, the colors of them match the colors of the words up here. When you see a book right here, it's basically saying that these 4 rows are connected, as in there's a pattern that determines what the next row is going to have. And the goal is to, as it says here, determine what the 5th row is and use the other book to solve this cipher. So the pattern here, if I look at this other book, all the shapes, including a shapeless, is matched to a number, and all the colors, including colorless, are matched to a number. And sort of a hint at the bottom here, a colorless, shapeless letter A would turn into a C, because shapeless is 1 and colorless is 1. So how that works is, with this diagram, the colors are going in one direction and the shapes are going in the other. So colors are going top left to bottom right, and shapes are going top right to bottom left. So following that pattern to determine the 5th row, this first letter, or this first question mark, would be a triangle following that row. And because there's no more information here, there'd be no color there, so it'd be a blank triangle. So using this book, triangle is 3, colorless is 1. So, using this kind of hint, the yellow text is shifted 4 letters. So if I shift those letters 4 spaces, it spells the orange, and as you can see, like a red circle, blue star, orange star, and then red without a shape. So going through all those, this text reads, the orange skull wants to see North America. So there's a globe in the room, and there's some paint barrels over there, as well as a skull. So if I take the skull, how do I make the skull orange? I drop it in the orange paint. If I drop it in any other paints, it changes the color. And it wants to see North America. If I go to North America on the globe, the skull is not orange, so it's not gonna solve it. Need to make it orange. And then when it's solved, the actual deciphered text is shown. Okay, and then this will be a prop that we can use in the main area to progress the escape room. And that is my route.
Hey guys, Travis here again. This is my, root prototype. I'm just gonna go over the things that I recently added and not over the things that I already previously spoke about in the first prototype. As you can see on the right hand side, the lights are now off. The globe is not present, which is what I did not add the last time. The text is still here, obviously, to get you to go and look at one of the shelves. You walk over and you interact now with the book that says When is Rome. You can simply tap it to interact, or you can actually grab it, and as you see, when I interacted with it, the lights turned on and the globe now appears. Obviously, the Rome is a hint to Italy, and Italy is in Europe, so when we walk over now to the globe, if you try to interact with, maybe a 3, it does nothing. If you try to interact with, maybe a 5, it does nothing. But hey, let's try 6. And when you interact with that's a little wonky. When you interact with the 6, you have the audio clip, please letting you know that you come. So, with that being said, you might ask why I decided to stick with the same environment, and I know that you told us that for this root prototype we didn't have to actually do the process of integration as of yet, so I just wanted to get all of my scripts and everything kind of sorted out here, and then I think the process of integration would be easier, but transitioning from here to integration. And so with that being said, this completes my tutorial. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris, and this is my root prototype. So the end of JV's puzzle will give a UV flashlight that will illuminate arrows on the walls. You shine it around the room. These arrows point to a chest with a purple spill inside. So to solve the puzzle, you have to create purple by grabbing the red and blue beakers off of the beaker shelf and toss both into the chest, which then spawns a switch that will unlock the door at the top of the stairs.